Okay. I know this video may piss some people off. So I'm gonna make sure that when I speak carefully. This video is for you to protect your income, whether it be trucking or not, but trucking income against unfair child support taking your money. Unfair, meaning you have one kid and she's trying to get you for $4,700 a week because you got 7 trucks, or you leasing and now she's trying to up it to your leasing money and all this type of stuff. And that we're not telling you not to take care of your child. That's not what we're talking about here. Unfair. And we're gonna have someone come in here today and discuss with us some of the ways y'all trip up and mess and put your foot in your own mouth. Somehow you set your stuff up in a way for you to be abused. Because let's not get it twisted. In some cases, it's warranted for what's happening to some of y'all, and some of y'all is just downright criminal. What's going on? Also, this is not a gender thing. We need to make this clear from the jump. Not a gender thing, because especially in the trucking industry, or we'll say in the industry where people are getting business and money, and women are getting hit up lately. This is not a gender thing. I don't want you to think it is. I don't want you to think none of that, because you will be sadly mistaken, and you'll mess around. You'll go out here and think because you're a woman that, I'm protected because I'm a woman. You're not. You're not protected. You're in a relationship with a dude, things go crazy, y'all have kids, you go into trucking school, you're driving, you're regional OTR, he gets custody, and you're gonna get hit just like you're a man. This is not a gender thing. This can protect both genders. It can go both ways. So I don't want this to end up, I don't want this to disintegrate into a gender war thing. When you go to someone like Dean Cole, you can be a woman or a man, and business structure is business structure. You get that understood right now. Meaning your ex, they got your 2 kids and you're doing regional leasing and you making a bunch of money, he can hit you up style just like a woman could. You got to know how to protect yourself. You got to understand what's fair. We want to understand when you're being taken advantage of. You got to understand what information to divulge. You got to understand how to be private. You got to understand how to set up your leasing situation, or your broker situation, or your LLC. You got to understand how to set this up that where that other person can't do this to you. Now, we are speaking in the terms of men to women because we're men. Women are more than welcome to call in. Matter of fact, we're not taking call-ins yet, but you can jump in the lobby, women and men. This is not a gender thing. You know, you better check the divorce court records, because women are getting hit up hard lately. They're getting hit up hard lately. So don't get it twisted. Dean.
What's going on, TB? How you feeling, man? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You are on.
Bro, on the stream, I'm looking at the stream. It just says stream. I don't see any video. I didn't see you or anything. I hear you though.
No, it's not. We're not. No, it's on now because I just switched the scenes. I'm doing OBS. You're not. I just switched the scene.
Okay.
I just switched the scene.
Okay. There we go. Now we go.
Yeah,
now I can see.
Yeah.
There we go. Before it was just said stream, but we good now.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
You good?
What's going on, TB? How you feeling, man? How was your day today, boss?
Man, I can't complain. I did a stream earlier, and I told everybody, I'm gonna be coming back on here with Dean, so I was really looking forward to this because this does hit home a little bit for me.
Yeah.
And a lot of my people who watch it hits home for them. So I was really looking forward to the stream because I was really interested in what you would have to say.
Okay.
And I know
Yeah, man.
a lot of
I really wanted to do this video. I've been wanting to do this video for a minute because one of the things about business coaching and business development is asset protection.
Yes.
And a lot of times, and it's not gender specific. I have female clients and I have male clients. I even have gay clients that have child support issues too. Because the child support court, it does like did you know this is like that, right? Did you know that if you were married to a woman, even if the child is not yours biologically, if you were once married to her, you can still get put on child support by law if you live with that child for over a year.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and it's gender fluid too. So it doesn't matter if you was a gay couple or a gay male couple or a gay lesbian couple, or if you were a female living with a male who had full custody, or vice versa. It doesn't matter. It's parent against parent. It's called parent against parent. That's basically how the child support system looks at it. As
and
parent against parent.
you know why I said that, because this can easily turn into a gender thing, and we're trying to make sure people know that you can get hit up regardless. We're not
gonna fake the funk though, because 90% of the people that are on child support are men. And unfortunately, because of the feminist movement, because of the push to get, especially in the African American community, because of the push to get the man out of the household and to get the father out of the household, and because of the push of the woman empowerment movement, subsequently they have made the child support system to be a weapon against some black men, not all black men, and not all men are black, white, whatever. It doesn't. See, this is the thing about it. It's not gender specific. It is not race specific. It is just period. But the facts are the facts. And majority, matter of fact, let's do a temperature check right now. Let's check it out. If you are in the chat, even if you're watching this on the replay, I want you to make a mind muscle connection with this, and I want you to repeat. I want you to respond as if you're watching live. And I do come back into the chat, and I do respond to questions and everything and whatnot. But whether you're watching live or you watching on the replay, I want you to say, if you are a man on child support, I want you to say, I pay. No, I want you to say he pays. 2 words, he pays. If you are a woman on child support, I want you to say she pays. So let's just look at it. You know what I'm saying? Let's pull up the chat.
Let's figure out what the room demographic is.
Yeah, let's see what the demographic is, because that determines how I teach. So if you're watching for the first time and you don't know who I am, my name is e.dean Cole, and I own Dean Cole Coaching. We are a consulting firm. We specialize in business coaching, life coaching, business funding, and business credit development. That's who I am. That's what I do. So if you're watching and you don't know who I am, that's what I do. And so I'm doing this because I've had a lot of clients recently want to do asset protection. They want to know how they're able to protect themselves against unfair child support and how they're able to protect their assets against unfair garnishment. So asset protection, child support is one of the easiest ways for you to lose a lot of your income. And also it attacks you physically and spiritually as well. So let's just do a temperature check. If you are a man, I want you to say he pays. If you are a female, I want you to say she pays. Let's look at it and let's see.
We will definitely figure that out. Mike Williams is in the queue. I see you. We're not in the call part, but you can definitely sit in there and listen. We'll pull you in when it's time.
All right, let's see. Let's see who's all in the building.
Who's driving right now? I know some of y'all
are driving. A lot of people are driving and whatnot. Okay, I see a couple of he pays. Okay. Even if you're watching on the replay, like I said, I want you to participate as if you're watching live, okay? All right, so I want you to participate with it as well. All right, so we got a couple, most of the time it's he pays. Okay, that's what it is, he pays. So let's go ahead. Now, matter of fact, while people are still getting in, TB, I want you to play that. Now, this is something too that I want to say about this, right? This is not for people that want to be deadbeat dads. This is not for people that want to be deadbeat moms. This is not for people that want to evade child support. I believe that you should support your child. I believe that you should take care of your child. You should take care of your children. You should take care of your household. This is not how you can avoid paying. I'm not trying to teach you how to trick the system, how to get off child support, none of that. I'm just showing you, and I'm going to teach on how you're able to protect yourself against some women and men like this that we about to show you that are predatory, and they're trying to take advantage and use the system against you, especially if you're an entrepreneur, because the laws are not the same when you are an entrepreneur like they are when you are a W-2 employee. And I'm gonna break that down. TP, you got that video?
I can play it. When you're ready. All right, we'll play it right now.
Yeah, go ahead and play it.
A lot of people got something to say about the fact that
You got it showing up on the screen. I don't see it. I don't see it on the screen.
Oh, you're not going to see it, but they can see it.
Oh, okay.
All right.
A lot of people got something to say about the fact that I got 6 kids with 6 different men. So I'm just going to tell y'all why it is better to do it this way. If I had 6 kids with all the same dude, I get 34% of his income, which is only $680 a month. If I got 6 kids with 6 different dudes, I get 17% from each one of them, which is $340 a month from each one. $340 a month times 6 baby daddies is $2,040. So why don't you have 6 baby daddies?
Wow.
6 baby daddies. Go ahead and play that again, bro, from the top. 6 baby daddies.
All right.
So she's saying how she went and she got 6 baby daddies
So you heard
so that she can get paid $2,000 in child support. So she's looking at it as a job. She's looking at it as a way to get income.
All right, I'm gonna play it again.
A lot of people got something to say about the fact that I got 6 kids with 6 different men. So I'm just going to tell y'all why it is better to do it this way. If I had 6 kids with all the same dude, I get 34% of his income, which is only $680 a month. If I got 6 kids with 6 different dudes, I get 17% from each one of them, which is $340 a month from each one. $340 a month times 6 baby daddies is $2,040. So why don't you have 6 baby daddies?
Why you ain't got 6 baby daddies?
So why you ain't got 6 baby daddies and 6 baby mama?
Whoa.
So she's looking at it as a form of income. And so some women think that child support is supposed to be for them, not to take care of the child. So the reality of the situation is that child support was created, real talk, child support was created during the war in 1950, because at that time, when a lot of the men were going to fight the war, they left their children and they left their wives behind. And so originally, child support was created to help subsidize the government taking care of children. So there are 2 types of child support, all right? There is public child support, and then there's private child support. So when most of the time when people think about child support, they think of public child support, where the mother might get EBT food stamps, and or the mother might be on welfare or some type of assistance. And what happens is that that child now becomes legally a ward of the state on paper. When they go and they petition to get child support, when they get public assistance, what happens is that that man, when he gets income, that goes to pay back the government. A lot of times people don't know that. And a lot of times the money don't go, all the money don't go directly to the child. It goes also to pay for the child support system as well. So it goes to pay the salaries. There's over $10 million a year that comes from male and female that come through the non-custodial parent paying. And out of that $10 million, that goes to pay the salary and pays for the systems and pays for everything when it comes to child support in the Child Support Enforcement Act and all the different fees that are involved. Now, what happens is that's when you go through public child support. When you go through public child support, like I said, most of the time it's the woman saying, "I'm gonna put you on child support," because they're getting some type of government assistance. So then the other type of child support is private child support. Private child support is most of the time is when you go through a divorce, and when you go through that divorce, child support, custody, all is a part of that when you go through that system and you go through family court to fight for that. So oftentimes what happens is that a lot of times men get the short end of the stick when it comes to the child support, is because a lot of times we're not the ones that go to fight for custody, and we're not the ones that go to fight for assistance. Because most of the time, if you're a single father, most of the time, a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, most men be like, I'm just gonna thug it out, do what I got to do, take care of the child most of the time, especially if you're no longer with that parent. But unfortunately, a lot of women, not all women, and some men, but not all women, they will use that to try to punish the man. Do you know, TV, like, do you know anybody right now? Or have you ever heard or seen situations where women would try to put a man on child support to try to get back at him for a new relationship or a new situation, or to try to control, to keep control of that man? Have you seen or heard anything like that?
I've seen that happen with men and a woman in trucking that I know. I'm not going to say her name.
And women in trucking.
But
Talk about it. Talk about some of the stuff you've experienced.
Basically, what happened with her was when she was with the person, he'd take her off child support. And then when she would leave, he'd put her on it. Then if she would talk to him like he wanted to be talked to, he would take her off of it. If she missed a couple phone calls, he'd put her on it. There's no limit to how many times he can take and put her off. So he just kept putting her on, using it as a control mechanism for her.
Yes, not all the time, but like I said, it's not. And you're talking about a female trucker. Like I have a lot of clients that are female truckers that make good money. They're on the road, and sometimes you have deadbeat dads. Deadbeat dads. They just want to try to sleep with you, try to get you pregnant, try to trap you.
Right.
How many times you say, I'm a trapper? You know what I'm saying? Dudes said they're going to trap a woman, and then they'll put the woman on child support. That happens. It happens more so with men than it does with women, but it
does happen.
You know what I'm saying? So now this is the thing. So when you are a non-custodial, we're just going to use the technical term. It's called a non-custodial parent. So when you are a non-custodial parent, what happens is that by law, they are able to take up to 30%, sometimes 34%, depending on the state of your income. So if you're making $100,000 a year, how much is 30% of that? You do the math.
No problem. Yeah, that's gonna be a little bit of money, bro. Oh, you said 30% for 100,000?
100,000.
Yeah, that's $30,000.
That's 30,000 a year. So what 30,000 a year? What was 30,000 a year is? What's that? Hold on for a second. Let me tell you the exact amount of what that is per month.
Yeah,
hold on for a second.
It's like $600.
Let me go through my trusty income calculator.
Divided by 52. That's $572.
That's $2,500 per month in child support. What child do you know needs to? What child? I'm not talking about a mama that want to get her nails done and her hair done, and she want to take these exotic children. I'm talking about what child? Or not? I'm not talking about the deadbeat dude.
Yeah, you want some Jordans.
Want to get Jordan, want to go out and get weed and get wings. But what child needs $2,500 a month in child support?
Right, because the custodial parent, which no one ever takes into account, is that they should be working.
They should, exactly. Now, this is the thing too. Now, I am going to speak truth to power though. So what happens is that when you do go through the child support process, right? There's something that's called a child support worksheet. So what happens is, and this is the thing that a lot of people don't realize, when you go through whether it's public child support or private child support. Sorry, my coupling fell loose.
Rich people problem.
Character building day. Okay. So what happens is that when you go through public child support, even private child support, you go through something that's called a child support worksheet. And I will say this, when the child is younger and the child has more expenses, then you have a chance of your child support being higher. Right. That's why a lot of times what some women will do is that before they even think about having, or I'm not even gonna say woman, because it's like I said, it's gender specific. But I gotta speak truth to power though. They're pushing this baby mama culture. Right. Sometimes women will get pregnant with a child, not even wanting to have a family. They just want a child. They don't want to be a mother. They don't want to be a wife. They don't want to be a helpmeet. They don't want to build a family. They just want a little baby or a little child like it's a little puppy, not all the time, or like it's a little baby doll for them. Not because they want to have a legacy, not because they want to be a wife. They just want a child sometimes because their biological clock is ticking or they trying to get this child to keep a man. Not all the time. We're not talking about every woman. However, there's a large percentage of women. Now, fellas, if you are in the chat and you're in the chat, I want you to let me know. Talk to me. Let me know. Make sure I'm not talking to myself. If you know of some situations, if I'm speaking facts, I want you to say facts. If I'm capping, if I'm lying, I want to let me know I'm lying. Let's look at the comments. Let's look at the conversation, right? If I'm speaking facts, I want you to say facts. If I'm lying, I want you to say I'm lying.
Yeah, because while we're waiting on that, it is one of them things where it could end up being that way, or they can do the keep a Negro baby, where they think that's gonna fix the relationship. And like we said, it's not gender specific. There's dudes that is trying to knock the chick up because she has drive and she got a decent job, and it goes both ways. But it is more leaning towards the men more often. It's towards the men more often. But don't get it twisted. You are not exempt if you're a lady. You're not exempt.
You're not. It's like I said, it's gender specific. I'm saying it's not gender specific. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. It matters if you're the custodial parent or not custodial parent. So let's see. So Easy Travel says facts. Jay Willer says facts. HS Fiend says facts. Thank you for participating.
Kill VCR says facts.
Yeah, Aquila Villa says facts. Yeah, my bad. Things, looking at different messages. So yeah, so basically, a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, what will happen is they will, even when the child and the baby is young. So when the baby or the child is young, a lot of times you'll put the child in daycare, and daycare can be expensive. Yes.
Very.
So what they do is they take when you do a child support worksheet, what they do is they take the income of the parent and they take the income of the custodial parent and the non-custodial parent. They take both income into consideration. Then what they'll do is they'll look at the obligations of that child. So based on the obligations of that child, that's what they're going to determine on what child support can be. All right. So, and now this is another caveat too. And it's not always a situation too when, like sometimes when one person is working, the custodial parent is not working, and the non-custodial parent is working, they say, oh, child support is high. However, in situations like my situation, I'm not going to go into too much detail, where my ex-wife was making a huge amount of money and I'm making a huge amount of money, then what happens is the amount that you have to pay is still a large amount because it's a percentage of the total income. So what happens is that they look at the total income. They just don't look at one person's income. So it's a miscalculated assumption. And a lot of times people think, oh, they just look at the man or the non-custodial parent income. No, they look at both parents' income, and the percentage of the child support is based on both. Right. So it's sometimes that's a good thing. So it's a good thing and a bad thing. So it kind of depends on your situation.
Yeah, if you're with somebody who's on some gutter bunny stuff and they don't have no work or no work history, they're only looking at your income because she don't have a job or he don't have a job.
Exactly.
So that's why I hate to cut you off, but that's on one hand, you do have to look into responsibility and you make sure you're talking to somebody who has something going on, because we hope that this other person, man or woman, will not run you through the ringer because both of y'all are doing well and it's just like, yo, just do this and we good. Sometimes it happens that way, but if you're dealing with gutter bunnies, it almost never happens that way.
Almost never. 99.9% of the time, when you're dealing with a gutter buddy, like you said, or you're dealing with somebody that's ratchet, like Gorilla, that's F-R-E-E, nigger, all that other stuff. You're dealing with those types.
No,
as soon as the child kicks, oh, I'm about to go put you on child support, I'm about to get my money, I'm about to run my money up, because that's all they know. Because unfortunately, that system is used to keep women feeling that like they should be dependent on the government. And it's another situation where they can use to hurt the man. So that's what we're talking about, the history of. Now, it's not always men versus women and women versus men. It's not always black. It can be white, green, blue, gay, straight. It's all custodial parent, non-custodial parent. So that's the backstory. That's where we are with it. So let's talk about how do you protect yourself against abusive or unfair child support, especially if you're in the trucking industry. Like for instance, I got a consultation. Actually, I got to talk to a client, and it's gonna be late, but hopefully he'll understand. I got a one-on-one consultation when I finish with you, but I had a consultation earlier with the client, and they are knocking down 500,000 a year.
Sheesh.
Yes, they're doing very well. They're knocking down 500,000 a year. Government freight, hazmat freight. They're doing very well.
Mm.
If you're in that situation, God forbid, and you having to pay child, you doing NFL numbers.
Oh yeah.
They're looking at you like you can shoot the three like you Steph Curry. They gonna try to hit you upside the head.
Yeah,
So
you're
they
in the
30%.
you're in the
You know what I'm
1%. Yeah.
$8,000 a month, $10,000 a month, child support. They don't care. So this is why you have to protect yourself. A lot of times, especially with it. Now, and this is the thing. It doesn't matter if you're in the trucking industry or if you're a real estate agent or if you are a realtor, not real estate agent, a real estate investor, or you do insurance, or you're a salesman, or if you do Uber, or if you do Grubhub or whatever. If you're an independent contractor, you're 1099. This is information for you, so how you can protect yourself against inflated child support. Now, listen, if you have a child, you need to take care of that child. If you cannot make things work with the mother or you can't make things work with the father, you need to take care of the child. So thing number one is you have to make sure that you protect your income, because this is one of the most frustrating and most foolish things about child support law, about family law. Now everybody knows you're guilty until proven innocent, right? In the normal court of law, you're guilty until proven innocent, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in family law, it's not like that. God forbid, if I were to get hit, if I were to sue somebody, let's say for instance, if I'm on the road, matter of fact, let's be a lot more realistic for me. Let's say for instance, one of my employees is running. Oh shoot. Let's say one of my employees is running. And they picking up their freight. They're picking up. Let's say we're doing something like a drop and hook. Hold on for a second. Listen. There we go. Bam. Oh, jacked up. I'm trying to get my phone to work. Hold on, let me show y'all what I'm doing. I'm trying to get my phone on the charge. There we go. Boom. All right. So let's be more realistic. Let's say for instance, I'm here in my office. I'm in the office chilling. I'm talking to y'all. I'm doing a live stream. I'm in my office. I'm talking to y'all. One of my drivers, because I don't drive trucks. One of my drivers is picking up a load, and we doing dropping hook. God forbid some idiot person not looking at where they're going, they end up running in the back of, let's say, my equipment, whatever the equipment might be. Let's say it could be, let's say reefer. Let's say it's reefer. They picking up their reefer load. Somebody runs in the back of them, and then they try to turn around and say, well, no, they backed up into me. So what happens is that the four-wheeler or the dumb idiot is saying that my equipment backed up to them, but my driver said, no, I was waiting to get loaded, and they backed up into me. At that point, when I go through court, I am innocent. My driver is innocent until proven guilty. My driver now we have to show the evidence. We got to get the cameras. You got to look at everything. Got to look at security tape to see who is at fault. Unfortunately, when it comes to child support and when it comes to family law, it ain't like that. Unfortunately, what happens is you are now guilty until you prove that you're innocent. Because I want everybody to say this, and I want you to say it too, TV. There's this one foolish thing that hurts entrepreneurs when it comes to asset protection and family court, which is called imputed income. Imputed income. I want everybody to say imputed income. Imputed income is when the judge gets to choose what your income is based on information that's provided to them, not based on the facts, not based on how much net income you make, not based on your bills, your new children, your new relationship, your new housing, not based on any of that. It's all based on what they assume
they feel
your income is. It's called imputed income. Imputed income. And they can impute your income if you don't have the proper paper trail And when you're a W-2 employee, it's easy. Your taxes are taken out for you. Your taxes are taken out for you. Everything is already taken out for you. So it's easy when you are a W-2 employee. But when you are a 1099 employee or you are a business owner or entrepreneur, they're going to look at your gross, even though you have to pay for fuel, even though you have to pay for loaders, even though you have to pay for equipment, God forbid, you need new tires. God, you have to everything that you have to pay for. If you have to sleep in a hotel, or if you have to get new headlights or whatever for you, they don't look at none of that. If you don't have the proper paper trail to show your income, they're going to take it off of your gross income, not your net income. So it's very important when you are a self-employed 1099, if you are, or any type of independent contractor, male or female, gay or straight, it don't matter. What you need to do is make sure that your business is structured the proper way so that you have your business income, your business checking account, and then you need to have your own personal checking account. And it's very important if you have baby mama drama, or if you have ex-wife strife, or if you got a deadbeat daddy that's trying to take your money for you, it's very important for you to make sure that you create yourself as a corporation, not as a doing business as a sole proprietor, even not as an LLC. This is important. If you are a single member LLC, in every law, in criminal law, in other civil cases, you have the corporate veil to protect you, except in family law, because of what I talked about before, which was called imputed income. Because of imputed income, what they'll do is, if you are a single member LLC, and they'll look at it as if it is what is it called? What's the proper term? It's called a alias. They will look at it as if it's an alias in family law court. And when you're in family law court, if you don't separate yourself, if you don't take that extra mile, they will still take your gross income. Now, TB, when you was running full time, how much did you spend? Like, for instance, how much would come in, then how much would you net at the end of the week? Because most of the time you get paid weekly.
Gross, you're anywhere between 45 to 8,000 in a week.
A week.
Now that's gross. Net, you're probably walking away with $2,500 to $4,500 gross. Net to your situation after all the bills on the truck and all that type of stuff. But then there's a whole nother gross in net, because that goes into your your trucking thing. But then you have bills you have to keep up and buying tires, stuff like that. So
all of that. And then you also have to set yourself up for emergency funds.
Yes.
Then you have to pay off your business loans, and not business loans, your business credit, those different types of things. All of that goes into place. Sorry, my bad, go ahead.
Credit card payments, tire fund, emergency fund, shop fund, escrow accounts, depending on what company you're running under, it adds up.
Lease payments.
Oh, lease payments, $1,100 a week.
Yep, all of that. But if you don't set yourself up the proper way, and if you don't set yourself up with the proper corporation, then what will happen is you can then be hit with your gross, not your net. So that's why when I talk about unfair child support, a lot of times some attorneys will go for the throat. An attorney worth their weight in salt, they're gonna go for the jugular. They're gonna go for, he making $4,000 a week.
Right.
He bringing in $12,000 a month. He making $150,000 a year. That's his income. Boom. We need to make his child support $3,000, $3,500 per month. So that's why you have to protect yourself by your business structure. So making sure that first, the way that you do so is thing number one, make sure that you set yourself up as a corporation, not as a sole proprietor, not as an LLC, not as a single member LLC, but you have to set yourself as a corporation. That's thing number one. Thing number two, you also need to make sure you give yourself payroll. Now, this is worth it. Trust me, it's worth the extra $150 that you have to pay to ADP or a payroll provider so that they can do us. You can set it up where it's automatic drafted. Automatic drafted from the business account into your personal account, and then create yourself a separate account where you pay your taxes. It's worth it. so that you can protect yourself against that inflated cost in child support, if that's that situation. So setting up a payroll service, that $150 that you pay every pay period is worth it, so that you can protect yourself, so that you can show that you are a W-2 employee of this corporation.
Right now, how
Go
many
ahead.
how many of the lease drivers or brokers, whoever's in here, how many of y'all are on a payroll service? How many of y'all are actively using ADT and paying yourself under a W-2 right now? That's a
Let's
good
look
question.
and see how many people, like, let's do a check. Let's do a check. If you're 1099 right now, I want you to say 1099. If you have yourself set up where you're W-2, I want you to say you're W-2. Let's do a temperature check. Let's look and see. Let's do a temperature check right now. Let's see how we looking.
Let's see how are y'all set up right now? Who's on? Some of y'all are on sole proprietor because it's set up through the company. Y'all need to pay attention, because even if you don't have a
Mr.
kid,
Anderson, thank you for participating. Mr. Anderson participated.
MH says I am.
MA says he is. When you say you are, you meaning that you are W-2 and you got yourself set up as with a payroll provider?
Ease Travel says 1099.
Yeah, Easy Travel says 1099. And even if you're watching this on the replay, I want you to come in the comments and I want you to participate as well, because I come back and I interact with you in the comments as well. And if you're not watching live, make sure you subscribe to Trucker Brown's channel, so the next time that we're live, you can participate. If you want to ask me questions, because we're going to open up the phone lines, well, not phone lines, video lines, allow people to come in and ask me questions and to talk to me. So if you are interested in doing so, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell on TV's channel. So every time he's live, you'll be notified.
Yeah.
Theo Collins said that his business, his LLC, saved his life on child support. Theo, if you could call in and talk about it, I would love to hear your story to talk about it. Thank you so much for participating, Theo.
Tribe Bully says 1099 with LLC. HS says W-2. Sanchez says W-2. LLC saved my life. Yeah, Theo Collins. Yeah, so they're all over the place.
So it's a mixed bag. It's 50-50. It's a mixed bag. So that's good. That's good. So for all the people that are not set up that way, it's very important that you do set yourself up that way, because that's how you're going to protect yourself against that imputed income, and that's how you're going to protect yourself so that you can separate yourself. So when it comes to normal law, when you can have a single member LLC, you have limited liability. But one of the things that people don't realize, they don't understand, is that child support is a lawsuit. It's a lawsuit between you and your baby mama. You go through court, and this is one of the things that's important. If you are a young boy, if you're a young woman, and you are getting into the trucking industry, if let's say you're 22 years old, you're 23 years old, and you know for a fact that you want to build a fleet, or you know for a fact that you want to build a trucking business, or even a real estate investing business, or let's say you want to be a full-time investor and you plan on making $1 million a year. If you're ambitious, anything that you do, and you are single, you have to make sure that you have a prenuptial agreement before you get married. Ideally, I'm not going to preach, but ideally you want to get married before you have kids. So protecting your assets is ideally, if you're young and you're ambitious, don't even think about having kids until you're married. Don't even think about having kids until you're married.
Snap now.
You better listen, Timmy, you better use a condom. If you're a dude, if you want to know how to make it feel good, I can do a separate video on teaching how to make that thing feel like it's right.
That's gonna be on Patreon.
There's tricks to the trade.
Yeah.
I can tell you that'll make that thing feel like. I've been with since I'm gonna go ahead and talk because I'm out here. Because I'm in the beautiful Dominican Republic. I don't know if y'all can see, but right now, if you look at when you see the beautiful palm trees, if you look at the mirror behind me, you see the beautiful palm trees. I got everything. Ocean got the ocean view spraying at me. Listen, I'm in the beautiful Dominican Republic, right? And I have a lot of friends. I put it this way: I have a lot of friends, okay? And I have a rotation of friends that I see on a weekly basis, right? So I have one child. I'm 40 years old with one child. If nothing, I believe in protected sex, right? Now, if you want to make sure that thing feel right, make sure that you get some lube. Put that thing on the inside and on the outside. And then you got to get some ultra thin condoms. They got them in magnum size ultra thin. You got to get that bare list. You got to get that extra thin. I have been with women. They stopped me. It was like, is it still on? I'm telling you, that's the trick. You gotta put that lube on the inside and the outside and get that ultra thin. I'm telling you, it's gonna feel like the real thing.
Yo.
But the point that I'm trying to make, if you a fella, that's what you need to do. If you are a lady, you make sure you get on the pill. Because these niggas, these pookies, these Ray-Rays, they gonna try to trap you. Listen, you a woman, you knocking down 250 a year. You know what I'm saying? You're sexy, you thick, because you sitting on, you riding all day, you got your body right, whatever, you know what I'm talking about? You about your business, you running your business. These Negroes will try to trap you. I'm trying to tell you. So you gotta make sure you protect yourself. Because you can't control what they do, but you control what you do. So if you're a dude, get you some condom and get you some lube. If you're a lady, make sure you get on child support if you like it raw, or just make sure he uses condom.
Raw diggity.
I'm gonna say. But the point that I'm trying to make is, ideally, for asset protection, you have to think about that. You every single day you think about your future. Every single day you think about where you're gonna be. You might be in training right now, or you might be just finishing taking your CDLs right now. Even now, even before, if you're a young buck and you ain't got no kids, ideally you want to wait till you're married to have kids, because that's the best way to protect yourself is with a prenuptial agreement. Now, this is the importance of a prenuptial agreement, right? It's very important. When you get a prenuptial agreement, you have to then make sure that your spouse gets a separate lawyer, not the same lawyer as you, because if they use the same lawyer as you, then your prenup can be rescinded, because technically they're not. If you were to go through a divorce, what will happen is that their attorney will say that they did not have proper representation. There's a conflict of interest. So thing number one is that you have to make sure that they have a separate attorney. And then thing number two, you have to make sure that they have time and that they're not in distress when they sign it. Because there's situations where men have been with women and the woman will wait till like right before the wedding and say, okay, I'm gonna sign it right before the wedding. Don't do it, because then it will be rescinded, because they can say, well, I did it under distress, so I didn't have time. So you have to make sure that thing number one, if you do get a prenuptial agreement, your prenuptial agreement states what the terms will be, that you're going to go through private child support, that you're not going to go through public child support, and you're not going to have to go through the state. That's thing number one. Thing number two, then you also have to put a set amount that you feel that is reasonable and that your spouse feels is reasonable to take care of the child. And then thing number three, make sure that they have their own attorney to look at it. And it's best for you to get that prenup before, when everybody is happy, when all things is good. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you were a dude or you were a woman, and they know that they say, I'm not gonna sign no prenup, don't you marry them? Because they're telling you right now, when somebody shows you who they are, you believe them. They intend on doing something to where a prenup will hurt them. So you have to realize that, right? If you're with somebody, I remember I was with the young lady, you know who this young lady is. And she was like, I knew you before you became a successful big time business coach. I knew you before you made millions. I ain't signing no prenup. I said, well, then we ain't get married.
No.
She was like, I'm not some new chick. I said, no, but I'm not no new nigga neither. I said, nah, we're not getting married. And she's like, I feel some type. I said, I feel some type of way too. So if you with me because of me, then it shouldn't be no problem, right? If you're not with me for what I have, but you're with me for me, you should sign a prenup. That was part of one of the reasons why me and her didn't make it work.
Dun dun dun. I thought it was something else, but that's a whole nother show.
It was multiple things. It was multiple things.
Mr. Mike Williams just called in. You want to take his call?
Yeah, let's take the call. Let's talk to Mr. Williams. What's up, Mr. Williams? How you feeling, man?
One sec. Hold on, Mike. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, let me hide the company name.
Yeah.
Oh, hide the company name, Mike.
Don't do that.
Yeah. You know, I don't want them come back looking for me for nothing.
Listen
But
to me.
everything that you're saying is true. And one thing I would like to say to everybody that's out there that's listening, the main thing is when you start making money, don't show everybody. Don't go on Facebook posting pictures, they'll use it against you. Keep your receipts. If you're giving her money now, keep those receipts, because that's going to protect you in the long run. When they go back and you go in court and they see it, it's going to protect you. Trust me. My child support, my back child support was at $30,000, a little bit over $30,000. The child's been with me since he's been born. And because I had paperwork showing that I went for temporary custody, that
Wow.
knocked it down to $5 grand. The
Mm.
Wow.
judge didn't want to give me all back the money and just say, hey, we're gonna knock it out. They still got to get something. But it knocked it down just because I was able to prove that. VPK, whatever funds you have that you're using for your kid, just keep the paperwork.
Mm.
Before you
That's
go get a
awesome,
new
man.
car and you go pull up on baby mama trying to show out, go get a hoopty. Pick your kid up in the hoopty.
Listen.
They don't understand that you showing her the money that you got it.
Mm.
Yep.
And then
They
don't
will
tell
use it
your
against
kid,
you.
huh?
They will try to use it against you.
Use it against you. Don't tell your mom how much money you making. Don't tell your cousins. Information always get back to them.
Mm.
Always. Keep
They
it to
find some
yourself.
type of way.
You can't even tell
Every
your
time.
mama?
Oh no, you can't trust your mama. Women love the gossip. Your mama will sit down when she go pick that baby up and say, girl, you know he making a lot of money now.
You know
Jeez.
he's
Use it
doing
against
good.
Yeah,
I wish
you
y'all
know they
could
like
get
to
back
brag.
together again. I wish y'all could have worked out. Why can't y'all? You know he doing good.
Exactly. Women love to talk, but now just the main thing is don't show them the money. Save your money. Like you say, protect yourself. I was 1099 before, but I never knew that my taxes could hurt me. I thought I was hiding by being 1099.
Yeah,
She
Mm.
just wasn't smart enough to come after me then. I'm W-2 now.
that's good.
Jeez.
That's it. Even if she tried to come back, get custody, I got too much money now. You can't fight me in court, baby.
That's good. Now also you
That's it.
have custody too, so that means that you now this is the thing too, right? The
Mhm.
only way that she could ever take custody away from you is if she proved that you are an unfit parent. I want
And I,
everybody that's watching right now, I want everyone to say unfit. It's important. It doesn't matter if you are female, it don't matter if they like you, it don't matter if it don't even matter if you broke and you are on welfare. The only time that a child can be taken away from a parent is if they are unfit. It's very important. Unfit. And this is very important for you to know because you need to know your rights. Because they will try to keep your child away from you, and or they will threaten to say, oh, I'm gonna take you. Oh, it doesn't matter if you have two pennies to rub together or if you got $2 million. If they cannot prove that you are an unfit parent and that you're an unsafe parent, then there's nothing they can do. You are always going to have rights to your child.
that is true. And I hope everybody starts going to court to get their visitation and everything put in paperwork. I know a lot of us be scared not wanting to go to court, but she loses money every time that you guys got a court date. You can take
Absolutely.
her to court and she's in contempt of court. She doesn't want to let you get the kid that weekend. It's your weekend. Take her to court. She's going to get
Absolutely.
tired of going to court too. Use the same leverage they have on us against them. The courts really don't care. The law
Well,
is the
see,
law.
that's true. And I'm glad you said that, Mike. And this is something else I want to teach on too. It's very important, right? So when it comes to the law, make sure that you understand that the law, they say the law is blind. They say that justice is blind. Richard Pryor had this joke. He said that I went to the court looking for justice, and all I saw was that just us. But the reason why is because, like Mike just said, you have to be the petitioner. When you present something to the court, and this is what attorneys will not tell you, this is what judges will not tell you, but by law, when you are the petitioner, that means that you're the one pleading for assistance to the court. So by law, you have the upper hand. So when you petition the court saying that I need help to see my child, or I need help to get child support, or I need help because the parent is choosing not to do it. So what happens is then the law is on your side, and then the person is the defendant. So it's an offense. The way that you get offense is to be the petitioner. So if you guys are with me, I want everyone to say petitioner in the comments. Even if you're watching on the replay, I want you to participate with me as if you're watching live. I want you to say petitioner.
Petitioner.
It's very important that you, like Mike said, you have to petition the court. It doesn't matter if you try to do good, if you mean to do good. No, you have to be the petitioner and petition the court. So you can either do it yourself, or you can look for a family law center, or you can look for a nonprofit organization that help non-custodial parents in your state, or you can represent yourself. You can do one of those things, but as long as you petition the court, then the court is by law have to help you against the defendant, which is now defending yourself against you and the law. So that's the problem that a lot of men have, or non-custodial parents have, is that they'll wait and they'll put their head in the sand as if there's not a problem, and they'll run and they say, well, I'll wait till she served me, or I'll wait till I get the paperwork. No, Chris Brown is a multi-millionaire. Chris Brown probably make about 10, 15 million a year on his royalties or whatever. The most Chris Brown pays in child support is $3,000.
He ran to Texas.
Because he ran to Texas and he petitioned the court in Texas. Now, every state is different on the law, on the cap that they're able to pay. In California, his child support would have been like $15,000, $20,000 a month. But because he moved to California, because he lived in California, but he also has residence in Texas. He has a resident in Texas, and then he stayed for 3 months. And he became a resident of Texas in 3 months. Then he went to the court and he petitioned the court in Texas, and then she got served. Then now the law is on his side, and the max that his child support can be is $3,000. That's it.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. And always have a plan. Write it down, have a plan. When you go to court, the judges love to see that you had a plan and you took the initiative. Don't go in there with your emotions. They don't want to hear your emotions. They don't care if she was screwing your cousin. Go in there with your paperwork, and that's it, man.
That's it.
But I'm going to holler at you guys later. I'm going to get back to burn these miles. TB, I'm about to hit that cash app, bro.
My guy.
Hey, Mike, thanks so much for calling in, man. Thanks
no
so much
problem.
for telling
Appreciate
your story,
y'all.
boss.
Thanks
All
up, Mike. Yeah, I mean, that Mike done been through it now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So he went to Texas and they capped it at 3,000.
Yes, he went to Texas. Now this is the thing, right? So when it comes to court, like we talked about, it's not gender specific. It's not male or female. It's petitioner versus respondent or defendant. When you are the petitioner and you petition the court, you have the home field advantage. You have the upper hand. Like for instance, most recently in the news has been the story of what's his name? Gary Owens, the white dude that act like he black, that sound like he black, funny comedian. Gary Owens was married to this black woman.
24
and
years.
he had, I don't know, have you seen the story with Gary Owens? You know about the story?
I've seen a little bit of it. He wasn't able to talk about everything, but go ahead.
Yeah, so if you look at his most recent Brilliant Idiots interview, crazy. I might do a reaction to that. His Brilliant Idiots interview, he went all the way in and he talked about all of it. So basically what happened was Gary Owens he filed for divorce after his last child went off to college. He's been unhappy for years. Now, because he doesn't have child support because his kids are above 18. So what he did was he waited till his kids went off to school, and he doesn't have little kids. So he waited to file divorce so that it was after his kids are gone. So all of his kids are gone, all of his kids are grown. His adopted child as well as his two biological kids. So what happened was that he had been in their life the whole time suffering through a sexless marriage, had a side chick, tried multiple times. But he was trying to keep everything together until his child was 18, and that was it. He filed for divorce. He then separated from his wife, and then after he separated from his wife, he then went on the road to do
tour.
He talks and he goes into great detail. I wish I could send it to you so you can see it.
Yeah,
he goes into great detail, and so we can play it right now. He goes into great detail talking about how he ran from her because he was trying to get her served, because whoever gets the other parent served first gets the advantage and the petitioner. So he filed in, I think, Ohio. Don't get me wrong. He filed in some other state. She filed in California, and he filed in a different state. But what happened was that he had got a private investigator to follow her when she was at, I think he said either Panera Bread Company or she was at Starbucks in line, and he had her served with the paperwork. So now he got the home court advantage because he's the petitioner, and now his alimony or child support will be a smaller amount because now he's the petitioner. He has the advantage. And so now she's the defendant or she's the respondent.
Wow. What is he paying? Did he say what he got to give up?
It hadn't even been finished yet. It's not open. It's private. But because he petitioned the court and because he got her served first, he has a home field advantage, and now it's going to, and it's in a state that is, I want to say it's Ohio.
Yeah, Carolina kid says he served her first. Yeah, Ohio.
It was, yeah. So he served her in Ohio, and the law is similar in Texas to where it's capped when it comes to like the 50-50 and all the other stuff. You don't have to worry about the child support, but he has to worry about alimony. He has to worry about assets. So it's very important when you are the petitioner and when you serve that person. So that's one thing you have to do. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, black, white, yellow, Puerto Rican, or Haitian. It don't matter if you're gay, straight. When it comes to the law, it is the petitioner against the defendant, and you have to make sure that you petition the court so that you can get the assistance of the court.
Carolina kid says it is called a non-community property state.
There we go. Because it's non-community property, now she doesn't automatically get anything. Like how you're in California, it's 50-50 automatically off top.
Right.
So because he's had her served in Ohio, then he's fine.
So now they got to come up to an agreement.
Yeah, it's just based on the agreement. And that's it.
Yeah, Gary Owens ain't no fool, man. He ain't no fool. I mean, he seen it coming.
He saw. Listen, he knew he was unhappy when I think he said he had a side chick. Because now, if you look at it, man, she put him on blast because, matter of fact, they tried to say that his ex-wife the whole time. Oh, I have this one. They have a reality show together, bro. The whole time, oh, I have this wonderful husband. He's so wonderful. He's so great. The whole time he was miserable in the marriage, miserable. And he talks about how I think when his child was 5 years old is when he began to seek pleasure outside of the marriage. Now, if you're not screwing your husband, if you're not taking care of his needs, and he's providing for you, then you need to know if you ain't doing it, somebody else is.
So he had a side, but won't he get hit for having a side chick?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, for having a side, she put him on blast. But this is the thing about it: they had already been separated, and she was trying to get the side of, oh,
he cheated on me.
He wronged me. He cheated on me. No, she pushed him away, and he was like, "Look, I need to get this together. Let's try to make this work." And she's like, "I'm not doing nothing. This and the third." So they separated. He got with her, the other chick, the quote unquote other woman, after they separated, and then she gets upset and she's get mad, and then she tries to go put him on blast.
So he was on. Did he have separation like through paperwork, like the real separation?
Well, no, he didn't have a legal separation.
Oh, he just ran.
He was separated though. It wasn't like they were staying in the same house and he going home kissing her in the mouth every night, being a faithful husband, then having another woman. No, like they was living apart and they were separated.
She probably had a dude on the low, all that.
Listen to me. And that's one of the things that he alludes to, but he doesn't say it because his kids are grown. Like, unfortunately, he talks about the pain that he goes through where he had to talk to his child or his daughter because of something his dad did. Because he talks about how his dad has been racist. Bro, the interview is off the chain.
I gotta watch that.
Everybody go watch. Go look up Gary Owens' Brilliant Idiots interview. The last one, it is worth every second of
I gotta watch that, John. I didn't know he was going through all that. I thought they just, I
didn't know it either. That's the thing. I'll be working, bro. I'm out here. I'm looking for properties. I'm flipping properties. I'm dealing with clients. I'm consulting. I didn't know none of this stuff was going on. But I love watching the Brilliant Idiots. And I saw that. I was shocked, bro. I was like, wow.
The next viral one that's gonna hit the press is the Tia and Tamara girl that just for no reason. There was no. They saying there was no cheating, no nothing. She just upped and said, "I'm unhappy," and just hit him with a divorce after 21 years.
Yeah, they say it's for irreconcilable differences.
But if how's the irreconcilable differences that no one was cheating?
Exactly. What is it? They hiding something. They hiding something.
Or she's trying to get the petition first to protect. She's going first
to protect her assets. That's true, and that's what you have to do. Like a lot of times, you got to be quick to the draw, man. You have to understand. You have to know your rights. And you have to use your rights. You have to don't let nobody take advantage of your rights. Don't let nobody take advantage of what you have access to. So you have to make sure that you do it first and do it yourself. Listen to me.
Hold on. We got to pay some bills in here. 1 second. Give me a second. Right now I have to show love to y'all say y'all want this content. The only 3 people who hit the Cash App, I guess this content, everybody up here must have no kids. Because this is the only people that it actually helped out, and they sent Cash Apps to say, Woo, Wu hit the Cash App, says helps him out. Ivy the Great, he does every single one, doesn't matter. And Mike Williams, with the strong arm, saying that this content does help out. Those are the 3 people who did hit the Cash App, who said this helped. I guess most of y'all are on the fence and saying y'all don't have these problems, or I have a lot of new young viewers who haven't even hit this issue yet. So this is content you're taking in that you don't even need to know. We also want to reiterate that, as the Tia and Tamara girl did, this is not gender specific. She petitioned first, and it don't have to be nothing crazy that happened. She just know that I'm not feeling this. I'm trying to get out of this, but I don't want this guy, because they got money. She didn't want him to run her under the coals for all that sister money. That's 90s money been stacking up, royalties, and that Nickelodeon money. So she trying to protect that Nickelodeon money. And if the rich people and the well-to-do and the bourgeoisie and the other demographic, this is the moves they're taking. There's no law that says you can't take these to protect yourself, not evade, protect yourself from the erroneous amount. Because I remember one time, this is an old story. I was working at a temp service, and we was working. They pay you every day, and we were getting like $85 a day, and all we were doing we were just driving the you went dark on your thing. We were just driving the cars to the auction block and down. Okay, and that's on a temp service. You get like 85, maybe 100 a day. Well, I went to the machine, and they have like an ATM machine that you can put your check in the hood, and they'll spit out the cash right there, because they know cats they don't have no bank account. So the place will just cash it right there. It's like you're at the front desk, you say, yeah, I've done my work. They give you your check. You walk 10 feet back, you put it in this reverse ATM machine. It takes the check in and it spits out your cash. I put my check in, got mine. Me and him were going to go buy drugs afterwards. That's just what it was back then. He put
Tell the truth, shame the devil. Let people know.
He put his
Tell
in.
The truth, shame the devil.
He put his in, and it spit out $2.
How much?
$2.
$2 because they took his child support.
And it said you had a garnishment, so and so. Spit out $2. I was like, wow. Because Virginia is ruthless, bro. That it's a Commonwealth place, and they are the worst. It spit out. I guess he must have had back or something like that, and that thing caught it immediately. Like, it didn't have to call nobody, nothing. It just took that. Yeah, man. He looked defeated.
He didn't even know.
He looked defeated, bro. Like, dang, man, I ain't even got gas to put in the whip, bro. Like, he couldn't even. I had to give him gas when to make it home. I was like, man, it's a ruthless game. It's a ruthless situation. You definitely want to make sure you're in the proper situation before you have a kid. Like we said, we're not telling you to evade. Like we said, it doesn't matter what gender you are. Listen to me. I know a lot of female truckers. I know a lot of them that come out of marriages that were kind of iffy, and a lot of them who, because of what they do, they couldn't get custody. So dude ends up with custody. He went in there and used the whole, oh, she's a driver, she'll never be around type thing. The court says, okay, he has custody or whatever, or he does the court dates in a way where he knows she can't get there. And then he gets custody, then he turns around and hit them with the lease numbers. And I know a girl right now who's paying $2,000 a month for one kid.
She paying $2,000 a month
for one kid, and that kid
one child
is not even going to daycare. He's not even that young. And he, like I said, he'll take her on and off of it depending on if he knows she in town, he'll try to meet up with her. If she don't, he'll put her on chat. He just vindictively, it don't matter what race you are or what.
Don't listen.
Whoever got the upper hand can do you bad, bro.
Bro, they don't make men like they used to make men no more. 80s dudes, you're an 80s baby, you're a 90s baby, you cool. You're a millennium. Y'all, not all of them, but not all of them.
Right.
But they don't make men the way that they used to, because a lot of times they don't know how to be men. They don't understand masculine energy. And also they getting all this feminine energy. They say masculine, toxic masculine. Ain't no such thing as toxic masculinity. Men need to be men, and masculinity, and you have to, unfortunately, so many men, not all of them, but a lot of men, they always trying to get the come up. Not all of them. But a lot of these new age dudes, they trying to get the bag by any means necessary, even if it means they got to get it up out of a woman.
Right.
Whereas I just come from a generation where men gonna be men. We gonna get out, go get it, and come
Right.
back with it.
We ain't even going to child support. We just give my child and I'm Gucci. But
Exactly. Like,
what,
this is mine. I'm gonna do what I got to do
what you got to
and
understand
take care of the
about
child.
what makes her situation so bad, because a lot of men are in the situation too, but she's the one recently that I'll talk to. What makes it so bad, she can't come off OTR now because
Oh, she can't. Now she's stuck.
she's stuck.
Now she can. I'm gonna tell you, she can. So what she needs to do. Now, this is one of the things too that I wanna teach. If you're in a bad situation or she's in a bad situation, you're able to do something that's called a change of circumstance, right? A COC, a change of circumstance. That is what it's called. You're filing a change of circumstance. And if she is able to show that her income changes, if she were to go from over the road, if she wanted to go local, or if she went working for herself and now she works for somebody else because the pandemic happened, accidents happen. By law, every 3 years legally, you're able to do a change of circumstance too, by the way. But most of the time people don't know that, and they don't actually use the law for their benefit. So she's able to do a change of circumstance, and she's able to prove, if she's able to show that paper trail like Mike talked about, and show that paper trail of what her real income is, then what'll happen is that she'll get a change of circumstance, and then they'll reduce her child support. Like, for instance, who just recently went through that, and the chick was mad because she actually tried to take him to court to get more child support, but his child support got reduced because of the change of circumstance and the evidence of what they proved by the track record. Who was it? It was
it 50?
Tyrese, I believe.
Oh, Tyrese. Yeah, his was public too.
Yeah, his was public. So his child support, because if you look at it, she was trying to ask for marital, she was trying to ask for marital debt, she was trying to ask for child support, not child support, marital debt, and she was also trying to ask for attorney's fees, and she kept hiring new and new attorneys. And what will happen is that this is something you have to watch out for, is that these attorneys, sometimes they call them ambulance chasers. Not all attorneys are bad, but so you get some attorneys that are ambulance chasers and they call blood-sucking parasites. They'll take a case and they'll get absorbent fees, and they won't even bill the person because they know that they're going to get it out of you. So they'll give them a quote unquote a bill,
but they'll garner you,
and then just so they can get it out of you. Like, who was it that recently went through another one that was a famous dude? You got to be in the church space and the multi-level market space. His name was
that Herschel dude.
What's his name? No, not him. His name was Imo19. His last name is Imo19. I just remember he's a Nigerian dude, Imo19. He does a multi-level marketing real big, and he was paying his ex-wife $100,000 a month because he made $1 million a month, and in there and he was okay with that because he was making $1 million a month, something like that. Well, my numbers are off, man. I can't remember it. David Imo19, that's his name. His name is David Imo19. David Imo19. And what happened was that he actually petitioned the court, and he was like, I'm not going to pay for her to continue to fight me because she kept using the fees, and she just wanted to be bitter because he was younger. David is handsome. He's a he done lost weight, and his brand grew, and she was an older woman, 40 years old. She was just bitter, and she just was trying to fight him and fight him and fight him, and no matter what, she just fought him and fought him and fought him, and he had to petition the courts and was like, I'm not going to continue to pay her to fight me, and he said that I will pay her after she pays her attorney's fees. And so the judge actually ruled in his favor because he was the petitioner in that case. He petitioned the court, and there was proof that showed that what she was doing was abusive. And because he petitioned the court, he got the relief from the court. So it's very important that you make sure that you are the petitioner when you do these things.
Yeah, y'all gotta just, man or woman, y'all gotta be careful. We're not gonna be up here with y'all all day. We wanted to get this out.
Yeah, I got a consultation that I'm late for.
So Dean, I appreciate you for coming through and dropping some knowledge to help the people, whether it's on either side of the aisle, man or woman. Protect your money. You got into the trucking, you got into doing brokering, you got into getting the business. You're about to start seeing more money than you used to, and the people that your past relationships can come back and bite you in the wallet, not the ass, the wallet. and they
Absolutely.
have no hope of doing as good as you, so they're gonna come try to get it. I appreciate you for coming through, Dean. I really do.
You're welcome, boss. I appreciate you, man. Anytime, man. We got to get a good schedule going so we can do our shows. And if you guys, what topics in the comments, what things do you guys want to us to talk about related to finances, related to anything?
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you put it in the comments. Even after the video is live, I want you to put it in the comments. And like I said, I come back and I interact with you guys in the comments and let us know what different topics you guys would like. But a lot of my clients and a lot of people have been asking about asset protection and what they need to do and how they need to set themselves up. So I wanted to make sure I did this video to teach truth to power on the subject.
That's perfect, man. Appreciate you for coming through, bro.
Thanks, boss. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you later, man.
No problem. We're just trying to do better, man. I'm trying to make sure y'all are prepared and everything like that. Shout out to everybody with the Cash App. If this type of content is what you like, right now the Cash App is not reflecting this is what you like. So I don't know, maybe we have to switch it up and do something else. But I want to make sure that this is what you like. If this is going to help, I see a few people saying gems and everything like that, but naturally this is a business. I'm gonna do what's the most lucrative thing for me to do. It's just simple on how that works. So I appreciate y'all for coming through. I hope you enjoyed the content. I hope it helped you out in any type of way. Show love, show support. Do not do drugs. Hit the Cash App. I'll be up all night. I may go live again with